week on the Island Times News Update. Atlantic Beach will not pursue opening access to Hanna Park from Seminole Road. Neptune Beach brings its sign ordinance back in a workshop meeting. And one beach community is close to a deal on tipping fees. Welcome to the Island Times News Update. I'm Tom Patton. A crowd packed the Atlantic Beach Commission chambers Monday night, largely to discuss the potential to open access to Hanna Park from the north end of Seminole Road. Many of those opposed to opening access were residents who live along Seminole Road. Those people said they were concerned about increased traffic in their neighborhoods, as well as potential parking issues. They mentioned that they were concerned about property values potentially decreasing in their neighborhoods as well. At least one said that considerations of people who do not live in the neighborhood, including those who might use the East Coast Greenway, should not be taken into account. Stephen Tocknell, representing the East Coast Greenway, said Mayport Road was one of the weakest links in the bike path, of which the St. Johns River Ferry is an integral part. Those hoping to open the access said the park was a valuable amenity to the community, and it would provide a place for families with children to spend time together. Both sides expressed concerns about safety for pedestrians and bicyclists, as well as for residents in the neighborhood. Several of the residents who live at the north end of Seminole Road said there is already a lot of crime in the vicinity of Hanna Park, and they felt there would be more if the access were opened. Some spoke of people who already park in their front yards in order to get to the beach, and said that allowing bike and pedestrian access to the park would mean that people would come and park in the neighborhood and then walk to the park. By the time public comments ended, the Commission had largely abandoned the idea of opening the access, at least anytime soon. Commissioner Jonathan Doherty had been one of the strongest proponents of opening the access.
So what we do is we look at all the consequences, and then based on the analysis of those, we find ways to mitigate for them. And if we can't find ways to mitigate for them, we look at the benefits and we weigh the benefits against the impact negative impact it will have. And if the scale tips this way, then we do it. If it tips this way, we don't do it. And that's what nobody's saying, heck yeah, we're doing it right now. We're going through that process.
The discussion turned from opening access of the park to overall bicycle and pedestrian safety in all of Atlantic Beach. Commissioner Mark Beckenbach agreed that there was an issue with bicycle safety in the city.
I'd like to go ahead and continue to move forward, not as far as the opening itself, but to go ahead and talk about what pedestrian and biking benefits that we can have throughout the city. And we'll start from there, and then as far as the opening, if at a later time it turns out that it looks as though a number of the other items, the safety items, have been addressed, then maybe we can look further as far as the possibility, and then maybe we'll be able to prevent a lot of the fears and concerns that other people have at a later time, maybe a few years from now.
Commissioner Maria Marks said the issue came down to a matter of the city's priorities.
So I think that as a commission, I think our priorities should really be, let's assess these problems on Seminole Road. Hopefully the Safe Pathways to School in 2017 will help alleviate some of that, but there's some things that we really need to start doing now. And I think we've just been really fortunate that we haven't had any major fatalities or accidents or problems like that. But it's clear that there is a problem. It's clear that the people who particularly live in the northern part of Seminole Road do have issues and do have these encounters.
Commissioner Jimmy Hill said he did not want the new police chief to think there was a huge bicycle problem and have his officers start handing out tickets to any cyclist who rolled through a stop sign. And he said that if there is one thing that was clear, is that everybody who lives near the proposed access was against it, and everybody else was for it.
With that said, I would use it, but I wouldn't do that to the citizens that live around there. It's going to be life-changing if we don't do it properly, if it's ever done. And I don't see it moving much farther probably right now.
Finally, Mayor Carolyn Wood said the commission should take a holistic approach to the issue.
I do think bike safety is a big issue. The first thing this commission did
was make pedestrian bicycle safety our number one task. To date, we have not really done anything on that. I truly appreciate Commissioner Beckabau's suggestion and Commissioner Mark's second, that we look at these biking and pedestrian safety issues first. I think it ties into what we've been talking about around the edges for years of visioning. And I think if we're gonna do that for this side of the city, we need to do it as part of our CRA in the Mayport corridor as well.
The commission ultimately determined that it would table the issue of access to the park at the north end of Seminole Road, but that it would take a broader look at bicycle and pedestrian safety as it relates to dedicated bicycle and pedestrian paths. Atlantic Beach will likely approve a settlement with the city of Jacksonville over tipping fees at its meeting on January 26th. The Atlantic Beach Commission on Monday agreed to move the proposed agreement forward for a vote on first read on that date. According to City Manager Nelson Van Leer, staff members from both Atlantic Beach and the city of Jacksonville have worked hard on the garbage contract and the agreement since the beginning of the year, and they've come to a settlement that is fair and an equitable division of the amounts owed. The $322,709 represents a portion of the accumulated outstanding invoices originally sent in the amount of approximately $975,398. In addition to the reduced amount agreed on, the city will charge Atlantic Beach 50% of the rate charged for the disposal of sludge from the sewer plant from June 1st, 2014 and into the future. The agreement states that both Atlantic Beach and the city of Jacksonville agree that Jacksonville has imposed a uniform solid waste processing and disposal fee, and the relevant section of the 1982 interlocal agreement is terminated. The Commission will also vote on an amendment to the budget to cover the cost of the tipping fees, because when the budget was created, that expense was not included. Van Leer says there is sufficient money in the general fund that can be transferred to the sanitation fund to cover the $322,709 for the first year of tipping fees. Both Neptune Beach and Jacksonville Beach will hold their regular meetings on Tuesday next week rather than on Monday in observance of the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. Neptune Beach will hold a workshop meeting in which no votes can be taken. The council will revisit its sign ordinance at the meeting. The revised ordinance would eliminate the deadline for businesses to replace existing tall signs with lower monument signs in the city. It also defines certain triggers for when a sign would have to be replaced. The council will also discuss a proposed ordinance that would allow food trucks to operate as caterers in the town's central business district under certain conditions. The proposed ordinance defines what is a food truck and outlines the conditions, which include proof of insurance and proof of inspection by the Duval County Health Department. When we come back, events happening around the beaches communities. This is the Island Times News Update.
Beaches Academy Child Care Center in Jacksonville Beach has been offering affordable, loving child care to families in the beaches communities for 35 years. Conveniently located on Penman Road, Beaches Academy offers care for children from infants through preschool, with programs that encourage learning and outdoor play. Our affordable tuition means families can get quality child care at a price that fits their budget. Contact Beaches Academy at 246-3885 and schedule a tour of our center. Beaches Academy, the child always comes first. Charlie's Tropic Heating and Air Conditioning in Atlantic Beach offers a full range of residential and commercial heating and air conditioning services, from new installation to replacement and remodeling. Charlie's Tropic Heating and Air Conditioning can keep your home comfortable year-round, and they offer preventive maintenance contracts to keep your system running at peak efficiency. Charlie's Tropic Heating and Air Conditioning is an authorized Bryant dealer and will service all brands. For year-round comfort in your home or business, contact the original Charlie's Tropic Heating and Air Conditioning at 241-1788.
Welcome back to the Island Times News Update. I'm Tom Patton. Victory Casino Cruises Jacksonville will hold a benefit cruise on January 30th at 7 p.m. to benefit the local Canines for Warriors program and specifically raise operating funds for their new facility in Nocatee. The January cruise will be the fourth in a series to support local worthy causes. Canines for Warriors provides service canines for veterans suffering from post-traumatic stress and/or traumatic brain injury as a result of military service post 9/11. The veterans are paired with a specific dog. Everything is free for the veteran, including food and housing while they're on campus. The veterans take home his or her certified service dog, which becomes a best friend and in many cases a lifesaver. For every person who boards the benefit cruise on Victory 2, the company will donate $5 to the cause, which equates to a $3,000 donation for a sold-out cruise. Author Mary Atwood will be the first Whistle Talk speaker for 2015 on Wednesday, January 21st from 5:30 until 7 p.m. at the Beaches Museum Chapel. Her presentation will discuss her travels as well as the stories that led to publication of her recent book, Historic Homes of Florida's First Coast. Replete with photographs and descriptions of homes within a 150-mile radius of Jacksonville, the book also touches on famous residents such as Marjorie Kennan Rawlings and musician Frederick Delius. Admission is $5 for the general public and free for museum members. ABET presents Black Pearl Sings by Frank Higgins, opening January 23rd. Music unites strangers and bridges racial divisions in this powerful story. Set in 1935, an ambitious white song collector for the Library of Congress visits a Texas prison where she meets Pearl, an African-American woman with a soulful voice and a steely spirit. The production features over 20 American folk songs and spiritual songs. The Bookmark in Neptune Beach recently received a grant from best-selling author James Patterson as part of his efforts to support independent bookstores. Owner Rona Brindley said the grant will give the store an opportunity to expand its partnerships with area schools and libraries and increase activities in the store for children. The National Weather Service says we can expect at least partly sunny skies over the next few days through the Martin Luther King Day holiday and into the first of next week. Look for highs in the upper 50s to low 60s and overnight lows in the upper 40s to low 50s. Be sure to check out our daily weather podcast at www.theislandtimes.com. The Island Times is always digital, always free at www.theislandtimes.com. Become a subscriber and get updates on news from the Beaches communities delivered right to your email box. And don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. I'm Tom Patton. Thanks for watching.